Start with the animal shuffle, I guess.
I just done a wool collection. I had so much looking. More pallet spawning as well. Are you in the animal truck, are you?
I am, yes.
Oh, okay. Shout when you're done.
Okay. I usually start the month off. I buy a load of new cattle and then drop some to the big butcher. And hey, Chris, how you doing, bud? Haven't seen you on here for a while because I haven't been streaming for a while. I think it's been near a month for me.
You've been slacking.
Yeah. CBF. I've been trained well.
Yes.
I'm good, bud. I can't speak for Wonko, but I think he's good today.
Yeah, I'm good, Chris. Yeah, thank you.
I haven't heard a whole lot, Chris. He went for surgery, but that's really all I can tell you. He hasn't been back online on Discord or anything to check in, so.
But it was the same last time he went in.
Yeah. Oh, that's my turn off. 11 months, I think, is pigs that have to go. Yep. What do you think? And see if you can find a map that if we get through harvest season on this map and then make the switch for something different.
Yeah, I think so. We've been playing this for over a year now, I think. We're certainly getting on for a year. We played it about 3 different versions.
Yeah. Sheepies. Are you wanting the animal trailer at your farm or back at the dealer?
I can get it from either, doesn't matter.
I got to drive by your farm to take it back, so I'll just stop at the farm.
Alright, yeah, just drop it off at the farm, that'd be cool. That was close.
No, there was miles there.
Now I was just about to cut across in front of you.
I was watching the mini map and seeing you coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Horseplay really didn't want to do that.
What was that?
The swath in my barley. Just was kind of hesitant getting started.
Sometimes I think it's the server slowing it down.
Yeah, maybe.
We've got a lot going on this map.
There is, and it was a a memory hog map to start with. Like it liked its detail and stuff, and that I knows that when you load it in, right from the time we started.
Yeah, it stutters badly to start with.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris. It's kind of a good group of friends to be playing with and chatting with every week. Sure.
It has its moments. Oh, this stupid map. Bloody forgot you can't drive on grass without damaging it when it's...
That's why I just put arrows on mine.
Dog. How are you?
Meh.
Yeah, good.
Surviving.
Yeah, that's about all you can say these days, isn't it?
Meh. Well, I don't know. This country's going in the right direction. I don't know about yours.
Oh, I was just rapidly going down a shitter faster than you can bloody blink.
It's amazing how fast things can change.
It is. It's also deeply disturbing, some of the crap that they're doing. They're sort of slipping under the radar because nobody's reporting on it.
It's cool how they do that, right?
Yeah, that wasn't the word I was looking for.
Trump makes a joke and everybody says he's being a fascist, and then they go and do all the real fascism when nobody reports it. They just get away with it.
Yep.
You can't protest what you don't know about.
Well, this is the problem. The vast majority, well, I say the vast majority, I would say probably 30 to 40% of the population have no clue about the crap that's going on.
And they don't want to.
No. Which is, I can kind of understand.
Well, the representative republic only works as well as if you're informed. But if you're not informed, which is what they want, because they want people just to be outraged. That's what they want. They want to be able to control it's the whole mob effect. That's why true democracy is tough. You just get a mob of people and they start burning witches at the stake.
Well, there's nothing else that's been proved to work as far as I'm aware.
No, you gotta be a representative republic, like our country. Because democracy is where you just go vote for everything. Majority rules, and majority rules just creates a mob effect. To actually pass a law in this country, you need 60 votes in the Senate. Out of
or a presidential decree, or whatever you call it, a presidential order.
No, that's not a law. An actual law, like I'm talking like an actual law. You have to get. They do have this reconciliation process where they can pass laws. I think once a year. I think it's once a year. You can pass a law with a majority, but there's stipulations on what kinds of laws can be passed. governments are written for lawyers, by lawyers. It's not time management. I mean, it could be like Jamie being led by somebody that's an American. I don't even understand how that works.
Well, didn't you find it amazing he went from being Bank of England guy, and about 6 months later he's in charge of Canada?
Yeah, how's that work? I mean,
I have no idea.
Like, you have to be a citizen of our country, like a natural born citizen of our country to be the president. You can't be the president if you're Elon Musk. You can't be the president. I mean, just because you're a citizen doesn't mean you can be president. Now, you could be in Congress, you could be a governor. You can't be the president. You have to be a natural born citizen. You have to wait. You have to wait. It's not time yet. Well, that's all right. You're welcome to join our country, Wonko.
Tell you what, I've been watching some YouTube videos of people sailing up the eastern coast of America, and I think that looks pretty damn nice.
Like where?
Oh, well, all up the eastern coast from Florida upwards, up through to Maine.
Carolinas and that.
Do you know what humidity is?
Yes, we have it bad here. As soon as the sun comes out, ugh.
Okay, so it won't be any different then. Yeah, Georgia to Virginia is just undoubtedly awful in the summertime. Spring and fall are wonderful. Winter's not bad, except for this year we're getting snow. My brother lives in Virginia. It's not bad. It's a little overpopulated for me. Florida is actually pretty nice 10 months of the year.
Yeah, it's got too many snakes and alligators for my liking.
Meh. Carolina's got all the man-eating spiders. Are they really out of it? Actually, Texas has got the snakes. That's why they wear the cowboy boots.
Yeah, too hot.
Yeah, keep the snake bites from biting your ankles and your legs. And then they were pointed so you could get them in the stirrups quicker. Which I think your English riding boots are pointed like American cowboy boots too.
Got no idea, I don't ride horses.
Only into bunker silos.
How many years ago was that?
I don't know, but you're never gonna live that sumbitch down. That was too funny.
Oh, Ice was not happy.
Yeah, he was really not happy. Well, I mean, it killed it for me. Little bit.
No. I remember when I was 17 or 19.
Yeah, and you know, I was running the farm.
Yes.
In and out. Oh, I can't move animals from. Where is the stupid animal trigger? I have anything to... Oh, I think I got grass.
Yeah, all grass will be ready for 1st of June, so.
Got something that's more grass. Yeah, because last week when no one was on, that was May, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't have anything to do in May. I had to wait till June to get my grass. Maybe it was ready. I don't remember. I was on and my grass wasn't ready, so maybe I was in April still. I missed the week before, so I had to get on early and make it up.
Any joy getting a new job?
Huh?
Any joy getting a new job? Or have you given up?
I can't. I blew the engine up in the truck I didn't want to drive anymore, so now I got a different truck. We'll see how bad that one is. Well, they got 9 years out of it, so I don't quite know what more they want, you know.
How many miles have you got?
868,000. I mean, ordinarily, if you get 500,000 out of an engine, you're doing good. It'd be one thing if it was a Midwest truck where it's all flat, short hills and stuff. But you know, you're climbing mountains with a truck that wasn't built to be a mountain truck.
Is that motor or transmission driven, you mean?
What do you mean?
You're climbing hills, you don't have the motor to do it, or is the transmission? We had a international fire hall that had all kinds of power, but transmission wasn't set, or the differentials weren't set enough that you couldn't get that power to come up to the band. You never wanted to let off, because once you got it to get up to there, you just didn't want to roll out.
Well, yeah. So first of all, they're high-speed trucks, so they got low gear differential gear ratios because they're made to run 70 miles an hour. That's their ideal speed. And then if you run them 65, they actually get pretty good fuel mileage on the flat, but they don't. It's only got a 13 liter in it, and it doesn't have enough, enough torque to climb the mountains with. Mm-hmm. If you were hauling standard 80,000 pound trailer, rigs, it would be set up perfectly. But because we're hauling, 90 plus 100,000 up the hills with it, it wasn't designed to do that. It doesn't have enough power. The gear ratios are too tall.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big problem with it. It just wasn't made to haul excessive weight. Not up mountains. If you're in the flatland, it would be fine. Get down all these mountains all the time. It really was made for it. I'm surprised it's lasted that long. Really.
It's probably on its 4th engine, 6th gearbox.
No, last year the gearbox went out and they put a brand new 13-speed in it. And I would have probably rebuilt the engine at that point because there's 700-something thousand miles. You're living on borrowed time anyway. If they don't think like that, if it still moves, we'll worry about it when it blows up. Because it's a lot cheaper to rebuild an engine that's not blown up.
Yeah.
We don't have, nothing, everything's wore out, but it's not destroyed.
Yeah, you haven't.
But now it's destroyed.
You're not replacing the head, you're just resleeving and.
Yeah, you'd send the head out and have it cleaned up and just check for cracks, and then you'd have the block cleaned, and then new sleeves, pistons, check all the bearings, and most of the time you can get away with just putting the same bearings right back in it. You don't have to do any machine work for the frame. They don't last as long on a rebuild as they do the brand new engine, but you still can get another 300,000-400,000 miles out of it. Mm-hmm. Well, we got to get a ride in a tow truck. That was cool.
And how far away were you when she calved on you? Were you long haul or close to home?
Well, luckily I was only an hour and a half from home. That's the precise reason why I don't want to go out of state. Was because these trucks are falling apart. I didn't want to go anywhere because I'm like, I don't know if the truck's going to make it back. still can't believe it was only $1,500 something to tow the truck back. It just seems really cheap.
I'm going to be all day harvesting this one barley field.
I swear I planted barley, but I didn't. Canola is next month, and then I've got corn. Wonko, you ought to go put the old Kloss foragers on the server here. Never mind. I know what you're gonna say.
Put a link in.
Well, speaking of the East Coast, I don't think you want to be there now. There's over 1 million people without power in heavy snow. Ice and snow all up the East Coast.
Yeah, I don't mind a bit of ice and snow.
Well, it's in places that don't normally get snow, so it creates it wreaks a lot of havoc when you don't get any snow down there. They don't know how to handle it.
No. They
Where
get,
I'm from, we get snow.
you get a centimeter of snow and they're freaking.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, it's just the same as over here. I mean, we used to get proper winters. Like, 2 or 3 foot of snow. But we haven't had that for the majority of the country for a good 2 or 3 decades.
Well, what are you worried about? Global warming's helping you out.
Is that the same global warming that means the temperatures are actually going to start dropping?
You gotta be a negative Nancy.
Wow,
Yeah, that's it right there. Because we gotta have Kloss forage harvesters in Germany.
Okay.
Marco's discussing how much more longer we're going to be in Germany.
Well, where else?
I'm a bit fed up with sauerkraut.
Are you? I didn't know we were growing sauerkraut on this map.
What, have you not seen the fields of glowing sauerkraut?
No. I thought sauerkraut was made of cabbage.
No, that's where you're going wrong, mate.
Quite nasty stuff. I'm not quite sure who invented it or why they thought it was something that you wanted to eat.
Let's put on the sausage.
Well, yeah, if we're going to take this sour fermented cabbage and then we're going to stick it on top of the spicy sausage.
Actually, in my mind, I was thinking spicy sausages, which is not sauerkraut, which is Brockenwurst or something the sausages are. Can't remember
Well, 'cause
exactly.
most of the German sausage is not spicy. It's like, it's got spice flavors, but it's not like Italian hot sausage or something. I believe that their filling, the Germans, when they do their filling of their sausages, it's like pureed. It's very fine. It's more like a hot dog than it is anything else. There's a Volkswagen that had their own sausage factory in their power plant.
No idea.
So I can tell Johnny's not watching the videos yet because I bought a new tractor and there's been no comments.
Is he home yet or no?
Don't think so, no.
Oh, he's probably loving everybody out, waiting on him hand and foot. Mostly foot.
Well, I mean, your loan was paid off down to $100,000. I got like $1 million worth of products and storage. Why wouldn't I buy a new tractor?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, we were talking earlier here. Mark was looking. There's no other really good 4X maps out there right now.
Oh, and we get too many people for standard size now.
No, if we go for small equipment.
The only problem you have with small equipment is that you don't make any money because you don't make enough product, and it takes forever. I mean, I'm having that problem on the Highlands map, you know, because I only got a few fields, and it's been taking me forever to pay for the equipment without having, you know, like I don't have enough fields to pay for the equipment I have.
Could be the wrong choice of tactics, for want of a better word. Strategy would be better. So it's too expensive to set up as arable and animals.
Yes.
So you'd have to choose one or the other on a small one.
Yeah, well, they start you out with a few sheep and a few cows, and I added more cows, and then I ended up putting in a dairy barn because all it gives is pasture. They don't give you a dairy barn, so I put a dairy barn in so that I could get the milk once my cows got of age. But it, you know, my mistake was I just bought all the equipment that I needed instead of, you know, leasing a harvester. If I just leased a harvester, I would have paid my debt off way quicker.
Well,
But I also can't do anything else either. Like I couldn't put greenhouses down or anything because it was not a good spot to do any of that.
The thing that's annoying me still with this game is the lack of second-hand equipment. We say get it, but there's only ever 3 or 4 items on there, and it's never what you want.
Yeah. That mod
And
is good
the
for
mods-
single player, but it's not good for multi.
No. What somebody should do is actually make a proper second shop that has nearly new and seriously old knackered stuff. And then you've got a proper range of brand new, almost new, and completely knackered but still just about usable. And a selection of every kind of item that you might need. Whereas the current Giants version is just, it's just a waste of bloody time, 99% of the time. But that's always the same with Giants when they release the spec of what they're going to be doing, and you think, oh, that's going to be good. And then you get it, and you think, oh, this is a bit shite, really. Simply because of the way they've implemented it.
Well, like that forager pack that I put in here, that's how I do the second stuff. Because those are like 20, 30-year-old machines in the pack, and they're cheaper to match.
Well, perhaps that's what we could do, is hunt around for some of the older models that are going to be cheap to buy in the first place.
Well, like, so they put like that P8 they released in the DLC, right? That's a nice size tractor with a nice price tag.
Yes.
There's a Genesis, New Holland Genesis model mod out there that came out not too long ago. That's also another reasonably priced tractor. It's an older tractor, but reasonably priced. And yeah, I mean, there are quite, well, the Mercedes pack is another thing. You know, you can get these M-Tracks pretty reasonably, but they're extremely small.
Yeah, there's. I got one on the other map, and it's pretty underpowered.
I've got one on this game here.
There's two of the older models, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah, I got the cheapest one.
I've got, yeah, I use it to do my feed mixer on that.
Yeah, it's alright as a yard tractor. It's not overly useful for anything else apart from maybe grass work. You know, tedding and windrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's no good for cutting grass because I tried that.
You didn't, did you?
Yeah. I said, oh, that'd be, when we started the first Pichoneer Valley. I thought, oh, that'd be a nice little tractor to have for using for mowers. No.
It is a nice tractor. It sounds nice.
Yeah.
But it's not got a lot of oomph.
The problem with farm sims, you can't, we always end up using the same stuff all the time because you can't match things. There's a lot of nice little tractors, but you can't use them because there's nothing to really use them for.
Oh, you mean equipment-wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're alright with seeders because there's plenty of small seeders.
Yeah, but start looking at the horsepower on the small seeders. I don't do anything. Can I plant anything in June? I'm not doing carrots. Not doing parsnips. Not doing poplar. Not doing beets. No, I can't plant shit. Well, modders seem to have this obsession with either making the tiniest thing in the world or the most giant thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like you look at some of these cedars and stuff, it's 18, 22 meters. Well, I don't, what do I need a cedar that big for? What I do need is I need some sort of front loader. I seem to not done very well with filling out those categories in this game.
It's a real shame that Farm Sim works the way it does in terms of the way they actually produce the game and their business model. If it was more like the way Armour does it, they produce a game that's like for 10 years before they even start thinking about building the successor. What that means is modders have all the time in the world to make every single conceivable mod you can possibly think of. So
Yeah, but I don't know.
whatever you want to do in Armour, you can do. From medieval knights to bloody stormtroopers until Disney threw the toys out of the pram. It's even bloody Warhammer.
Yeah, but I don't see how Giants makes money to make the quality of game that we have.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because, like, this Railroader game I'm mildly obsessed with right now. I mean, FS09 graphics is the best. That's where we're at, you know.
Ugh.
It looks... it's terrible. I get on Farm Sim and I'm just blown away with how awesome everything looks. Like, the trains look decent, but the trains are like FS17. And the buildings and it's just awful. It's terrible. But the game is not about... You can drive the train if you want to, but it's not about driving trains. It's about how railroads work. Basically, I'm just moving cars around because I can't be bothered doing anything else at that time of day. You have to run a passenger service, because I found out if you don't run the passenger service, you don't get a rating. Or you get a bad rating. If you have a bad rating, then they don't give you money. You can't loan money, you can't do anything. You gotta run a stupid passenger service every day. It doesn't pay for itself. It's a pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting concept game. I actually wish that this Microsoft Train Simulator is just like this game, right? But
Oh no, it's boring as heck.
well, but the reason it's boring is because Train Sim doesn't have like AI workers. You have to hook all the trains up and you have to, do a run, and it's like, it's like Truck Sim. It's okay, that was cool for a few minutes.
I
It's just
made
too
the
much.
mistake of playing it once and I was bored within an hour.
It's too much. It's too realistic, in my opinion. I had the original flight simulator Microsoft made, and the whole idea was trying to not crash. But once I got past not crashing, then I didn't really know what to do. But when they came out, by the time my little brother got into flight sim, they'd come out with, you know, multiplayer and all these other things that you could do. But the whole part of flight sim is just like truck sim. It's not fun by yourself.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The best part of truck sim was when, you know, we'd all try to go somewhere and, you know, not all of
Chaos.
us would make it. Ended up getting banned for that head-on collision with Johnny.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah. Allard losing his shit with everybody.
Well, yeah, 'cause that was the team. Allard was fun to truck with. It was just me and him, but you'd get up with the whole group, and he just couldn't handle the stupidity of the rest of us.
No.
Plus, that was before I had the steering wheel and everything. When I got the steering wheel, I got a lot better at driving it. Then I modified my shifter to make it put a truck handle on the top of it. That was cool. But now I do that for a living, so I have no interest in playing that game.
It's kind of
Do
like
it all
me
day
playing
long on
Firefighter
YouTube.
Simulator.
Oh, yeah, there's no point in that. There's no point in that. Farm Sim's different. I would probably play Farm Sim even if I was farming.
There's quite a lot of farmers do play it.
Yep.
Well, there's a different aspect to Farm Sim. Like you can build an enterprise. Like, you know, it's not just like Truck Sim or Flight Sim where you're just driving around.
Well, when I tried the truck sim for a little bit, and the thing that I didn't like, it was you had to concentrate the whole damn time you were playing. It's like,
Yeah.
like playing a sports game like hockey or basketball or football. Like you just, for this here, like if I want to just press the brake and sit in the field for a second with the tractor running when I'm talking to you guys or doing something, I can.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's because it's the social aspect that's going on with it. But even before I played multiplayer, I played a lot more Farm Sim than hockey or those kind of games because of that relaxation. I can watch TV, or like a lot of nights here if I'm playing, wife and I will have like a show running in the background, the TV in front of me, and I'll just kind of pause myself a second and watch for a little bit, or just have to hear it going on, whatever it might be.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. If I'm not online with you guys and playing by myself, then telly's going, or I'm watching YouTube, or talking to the wife, or the son.
But you don't really have to concentrate on this game as hard,
No.
No,
especially when you get GPS and all that.
well this is it, yeah, if you've got course play going, you can set it up and walk away for 10 minutes, half an hour, depending on how big the field is.
I was living with the X on console. I'd get everything set up, put it on higher worker, go do all the chores while she was away. Then I come, you know, I just keep an eye on it as I'm walking through it. You know, oh, he's done, moving to the next field. Moving to the next field. That way all the boring shit was done, and then I could go on or doing farmyard work or whatever later. And sit there and watch TV shows I don't care about. Oh, we'd need another map though. We'd have to have at least 4 farms, right? Or 4 areas you
Yeah.
could farm.
Yeah, the one I'm looking at, or started to look at, is I think it's called Fields of Tyrone. It's an Irish map. And if I remember right, it's got 6 farms, although at least 2 of them look a bit small. But then,
Well, on this game, I'm keeping it, we're only playing once a week, basically. I mean, we can do any time, but I'm keeping everything small so that I don't end up having to spend, if I don't make it home during a week or something, I don't get overburdened with work.
yeah.
Did I pay all my debt off on this? No, I still got 40,000 now. Man, those locomotives are freaking loud. I don't know what the difference is, but the cross-country locomotives they shake the house when they go by.
Older stock, maybe?
Huh?
Older trains?
No, just bigger. Like the ones that work, like the rail yard switchers and stuff. You don't hardly, I mean, you hear the bells and stuff, but that's it. You hear them ringing the bell and that's it. You don't really ever hear them, but these ones rumble the whole house. They're the ones that are coming across the country. Jamie's cheating again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I suddenly picked up a bag of seeds and ran along with it.
Baling my grass, and I'm just now the course place doing the headlands, so I'm just moving 2 bales off the headlands.
Scrump's gonna have a few words with me. Why did he buy fields right next to me?
He likes you.
Yeah, but he just blockaded me. I don't know why he did that.
Didn't he have his farm going before you joined? Weren't you late joining this
Yeah,
map?
but I was late joining this map, but I went to the next farm down the road from him. But he's bought, instead of going the other direction where there is nobody, he's buying land around me. I don't understand why.
Would they be in the carrot fields or the whatever? Yeah, some sort of root crop, sugar beets.
Oh, could be, I don't know.
Like Farm Sim, I've been playing this for the longest of all the games I've played. Played all the battlefields and the CODs for many, many years. Played Armour for many years. I did stop playing Farm Sim for about a year. Maybe 2
That
years.
and the 19 days.
Might have been. I just got fed up with it.
I thought you got fed up with us too.
Yeah.
it my turn to whinge about the grass being destructed when you drive in it?
Oh, I've already had a whinge about that today.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if somebody had already done that or not. I'll get it out of the way.
Oh, I completely forgot and drove straight onto a fucking grass field. Oh, fuck's sake.
You guys didn't last much longer after I left on Friday night anyways, did you, Swanko?
No, well, it was kind of late already for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everybody left almost straight away.
So I went back in after to check to see to save the game, and I just saw where I saved and jumped out, and then it was like bing bing on the log where Gizmo had left, and you and Brummy had gone.
Oh, we got quite a bit done. In between sorting Brummy out.
What do you do now?
Well, we joined farms. That turned into a bit of a palaver. I don't think you got much done, did you, Jamie?
I think the American term for it turned into a clusterfuck.
Yes.
They, two farms went into the advanced UK, so we thought, all right, we'll put a transfer ownership station down and transfer the gear, and they said, I think I might be able to figure out how to get the land done, but I couldn't transfer the land through EasyDev. Then we figured I had to transfer join Brummy's farm, transfer all his farm lands from Brummy to non-player control. Then I had to join Wonko's farm and transfer from non-player control to Advanced UK. But then the bales and the bale shed that he had didn't transfer. So Brummy had to unload the bales out under his farm, load them on the trailer. I stayed on Brummy's farm. He drove to the transfer point. I transferred the bales from Brummy's farm to Advanced UK, unloaded them off to the side, and then put them all back in at the end into the shed. But it didn't go as smooth as that 45-second statement that I just gave you.
There was an ingredient in there that just kind of, you know, things happened.
Yeah. We managed to get it done, but it was a comedy of errors.
Well, this group doesn't do anything the easy way.
Well, not normally, no.
No.
Easy's underrated.
Mm-hmm. That is.
So I will say doing swathing does definitely increase your yield.
What with the
With the MacDon and then the swathing header. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you see the field I'm on here, field 105.
So
It's not a very big field. So see each one of those swaths going across?
yeah.
I'm one of those swaths is giving me a full combine.
Jesus.
So that's 10,570.
That's what we're doing wrong then. Right, I could get it to work when I tried.
It doesn't like course play. Just a little bit on the edges, but what I have found is you have to bring your field definition size in some on this map. When it runs the edge, the fields have that little bit of a border, so I think the header runs up the edge of the ditch or the dike, whatever's there, and it lifts it and it skips. So I made when I did my course play, I brought my in 0.2, and it's not running over the edge of the field. It's not skipping as much.
Okay. Well, if I remember rightly, I couldn't get it to do a damn thing.
I think one of the early on course plays, it didn't do it, no. We were doing it manually, Johnny and I at first.
So, Jamie, have you heard about how Alberta wants to become part of the United States?
Yeah. thinks it's the player because it's got the oil. So they've always bitched and moaned and whined because when we have this, then we should control everything.
Well, we'll give them Minnesota.
I don't think anybody wants
You guys-
Minnesota
you-
right now.
You guys can have Minnesota. Well, Minnesota, well, Minneapolis. It's not Minnesota, it's Minneapolis. Is the prime example of, because Minnesota is primarily full of Scandinavians. You know, a lot of Swedes, Finnish, Norwegians. A lot of them immigrated over here and they moved up there. And it's the prime example of why you don't take in too many refugees, because they took in all these refugees and they came in and they've taken over. They've taken over the political leadership of the city. They've taken over everything. They've hijacked it. And what I don't understand is that all the things that they were refugees from, now they're just trying to implement back. So,
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens everywhere. It just defies logic.
You left your country because it was bad, but now you want to make the same thing happen in my country.
Yeah.
well, I don't think it starts like that, but I think the people that I don't think they know anything different, right?
Well, judging by the behaviour of some of them, no.
Well, your country's got to wake up. This radical Islam it's something to deal with. That's a terrorist organization.
Well, I swear to God, our governments know full well what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Because, I mean, Saudi Arabia, all those countries there that are well off, they don't tolerate this shit. If you belong to the Muslim Brotherhood, you're thrown in prison or you're thrown out of the country. You're not tolerant.
No, that's why they're doing it in other countries. So they get thrown out of the Islamic countries.
And I reckon half the murder and mayhem in Iran has been caused by immigrants being used by the government. But there's nothing in the mainstream media over here about it. Nothing at all. It's like fucking complete radio silence.
Unfortunately, most countries don't allow a free press like we do.
Now,
The problem is that your legacy media, they think they have a handle on it, but the big problem is social media. Because if you go on your social medias and you start liking left-wing stuff, it just keeps pumping it to you. If you like whatever you click on, it just keeps feeding it to you. You know, and a lot of this stuff is stupid. It's just, it's just propaganda on both sides. Like, oh, liberals are stupid. I know liberals are stupid. Okay. I don't need to watch video after video of it. I understand the whole reason. They don't, they don't really seem to have any logic behind what they do. It's all emotional. That's
all driven by clicks, isn't it? It's not really... There's not many, like, YouTube... I don't know about TikTok or any other social media, but on YouTube, you have to hunt around to find channels that are informative rather than trying to push one side or the other.
Well, yeah, and YouTube shadow bans everybody.
Yes.
So there's a guy that does he's an independent voice, but he's very conservative. And I haven't listened to him since on the radio since like 2005. And you never could find anything of his until recently on YouTube. I would literally it showed me that I was subscribed to his channel, but I'd have to literally go to his channel, and you know where it shows the bar of the recent videos by somebody? None of his recent videos would be there. You would have to go into the video section to find it. Like, you couldn't even find the videos that he was doing on there. You couldn't search it, you couldn't find his channel.
Yeah.
And recently, Google's kind of let up on a lot of that because I think they realized the Trump administration is going to come down on them.
Well, not only that, everybody's wise to it now. Well, I say everybody, a large portion of people are wise to it.
No, they're not. No.
You don't reckon?
Unless you subscribe to right-wing conservative channels or gun channels, that's the only way you know about it. But, I mean, you gotta remember, 90% of the world is just in there watching people hurt themselves falling off bicycles. Like,
Cats, don't forget the cats.
they don't care. Oh, and
Oh, yeah.
then the women are watching videos of cats doing stupid stuff. They don't care about the world they live in. All they care about is them, and they don't understand that their voting is what causes this indiscretion. Well, I don't understand how come we banned the plastic grocery bags. I'm like, you people voted for these morons. Well, yeah, but the other guys, you know, they're mean. I can't argue with that. You can't argue with a person like that. They voted because they thought the other party was mean.
Yeah.
And then you ask them, well, what made you think that they were mean? I don't know. I just get that impression. No, you got that impression from everything on TV and all the ads on Facebook and everything else. That gave you the impression. You got brainwashed. You had no idea what you're voting for. You have no idea what the country stands for, and you don't care. The worst is the upper middle class. They're the dumbest bunch of people. I don't understand how they made so much money.
Family money, isn't it, mostly?
Some of it, yeah.
Is it just Alberta that's planning to leave, or is there more states? I'm sure I read that there's more states considering it.
As far as I know, only Alberta was the one they really want to become part of the United States.
I mean, I've seen videos of the turnouts at the, whatever is the, not referendum, but the referendum on the referendum, I think it is.
Having a referendum about the referendum?
Well, I can't remember the exact details, but I think they're sort of saying, well, do you guys want to do this or not? And then there's big queues outside the voting stations. But I don't think that then means that they will. I mean, Jamie, you should know what I do.
Yeah, but I don't see how a country is going to give up one of their provinces.
They're not, because if we were, we'd give you Quebec.
Yeah, but do they want Quebec?
No, nobody wants Quebec. Quebec is its own. It thinks it's its own country.
Oh, is that the French-speaking part?
Yeah, they never got the memo
yes.
that the French lost the war. I mean, we thank the French for helping us with our revolution. It was very kind of them to help us. We appreciate
Bastards.
it. Not for the French, I don't know how long that war would have gone on.
You would have won eventually. The supply line's too long for the British Navy, even them days.
Yeah, I mean, it'd take you a couple of weeks to get across the ocean, I think, back then, wouldn't it?
I think you're talking more like months.
Oh, that one, yeah. I thought by the late 1700s it had pretty, you know.
Maybe it wasn't quite months. Maybe 6 weeks or something, I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing.
Well, guess better.
Oh, okay. I could ask Google, but I can't be asked.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to rule the world, you know. It took a lot of resources.
We managed it for a while. Was it?
Yeah. 100, 150 years, I think. You look at the map, I think it was in mid 1800s, and like it looked like the whole map was just under British control.
Most successful colonizers ever, I think, because you look at most of the countries that were in the Commonwealth or in the old empire, most of them have done reasonably well up until recently. They've had democracy, they've had reasonable industry. So you've got America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand. The problem there is obviously Africa, yeah, India. Well, India's quite prosperous. They just pretend they're more because they keep all the money at the top. Same Pakistan.
I don't know. India is a very, very, very rich, but the majority of the people are just, they don't have a middle class.
No.
The majority of the people are just very
It's the
poor.
haves and the have-nots.
Yeah, that's why they end up over here all the time. They have a dangerous ideology too. Not having a fear of death is kind of a problem.
It's news to me. What are you on about?
Well, Hindus don't have a fear of death.
I'm sure they do. It's a fairly fundamental part of human nature.
In human nature it is, but you know, there's a natural instinct against it. But like, if you tell them that they need to wear, you know, a hard hat because something might fall on them, they'll be like, well, if something falls on my head and kills me, then that was my day. It was my day. That's my day to die, and then I get reincarnated. So there's no real penalty for death in their eyes.
Ah, that's Buddhas, not Hindus. Well, it's definitely Buddhas believe in reincarnation.
Yeah. No, that's Hindu.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
no.
Buddha's is the self-enlightenment. Chinese are Buddhists. Like the Buddhist is the energy, the world energy.
Ah, we're both right. Hindus, Buddhists, Jainism and Sikhism are the major religions that believe in reincarnation. All originating from India.
Well, you can spot the Hindus because they got a towel on their head.
No, that's the Sikhs.
No, the Hindus do it too.
I've never seen the Hindus do it. I know the Sikhs do.
In the Muslims actually do it, but it's not it's different. It's a different towel.
No, it's just the Sikhs.
I'm pretty sure that
some other cultures in the Middle East, Africa and South Asia can wear them, but it's not compulsory. But Sikhism is compulsory.
Yeah, because you'll see them. They like a lot of them. They'll only wear them when they go out. Like it's part of their. It's like part of their dress. You know, or they go to. I don't know if they call it temple or whatever they call it, but. I can't believe they put an Indian restaurant in this town. I just cannot believe it.
Why? Indian food's good.
Nah.
I tell you what, proper Indian food, not necessarily what you get in the restaurants, is out of this world. One of my sisters married an Hindu, and their wedding food was just fantastic.
You know, that's kind of weighted though, because when you make wedding food, it's it's supposed to be above average. Not always is.
Yeah, true, but it was also authentic. Whereas the stuff that they put in restaurants is some of it's just completely made up, as in made up for the British palate.
Yeah. I mean, they do the same thing over here. You know, Taco Bell is not Mexican food.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, you go to a real. I mean, there's tons of Mexican joints here because I don't know, but basically Mexico. The only good restaurants out here are Mexican anyway. I don't eat at Chinese places.
Again, their food is proper Chinese food is very nice. Not particularly to my palate, but it's a lot better than what you get in a Chinese takeaway.
Well, because the Chinese food here is American Chinese food. It's made to be greasy slob.
Yeah, same as over here, really.
And the Indian, Thai, any Asian food of any sort, all those restaurants fail the health code. They always have made massive, major violations and stuff. You know, like dead rats in the freezer. And
Oh, lovely.
well, because they publish the health inspection reports. Now, a lot of ones that fail are like all your fire halls and church services and stuff. It's like, well, okay, I know why they fail because it's not a restaurant. It's not open all the time. Plus, a lot of the people that are they're all volunteers that are doing it, so a lot of them don't know what the health codes are even supposed to be. Usually doing like pancake breakfasts and spaghetti dinners, nothing too serious that you can really worry about. And it's all stuff like, oh, there was outdated milk in the fridge. It's like, okay, well, they're not open every day. They don't do that stuff.
Do they get told ahead of time they're being inspected, or is it completely random?
I'm not sure. In healthcare, it's random. You kind of know when it's coming because they do it kind of like on an annual basis. I want to say that...
We know when we get ours inspected.
Yeah, I want to say in the food industry, you know, like the week that they're going to show up. They're going to show up this week and you're kind of like, okay,
Well, ours tell you what day and what hour they're going to be there.
Well, yeah, that way you can clean it up before they get there.
And yet still people fail.
They'll open book test too.
True.
The rope's full of lazy morons.
It's kind of like the tax man, though. You always give them something to find.
Well, we're
something
not getting any. Sorry, carry on.
Give them something to find. A lot of times they stop looking. They have to justify their job.
Arable are using AI now to track people. They've given them complete access to our bank accounts. It's a fucking nightmare now.
What do you mean?
Well, before, the government couldn't look into your bank account without a court order.
Well,
Now,
of course
not only can they now look in your bank account, they can take money straight out of your bank account, again, without any court order.
Excuse me?
Why are you guys not marching in the street with the copies of the Magna Carta? You guys started this whole freedom thing from the oppressive governments.
Yeah,
You guys wrote the Magna Carta to prevent illegal search and seizure.
yeah, I know.
Our Bill of Rights in the Constitution was, largely based on the Magna Carta and the principles of not allowing the government to just willy-nilly do whatever they want in the citizens' lives.
The situation here is all our institutions have been taken by the left and by immigrants into the country who have no love for the country whatsoever, no love for our culture, no love for anything that's British whatsoever. And they control everything. So until we get to the point where we physically cannot take any more, will anything change?
Yeah, but how do they just violate some of the oldest laws in the country and there's no uprising? Oh,
like I said,
I know.
all the institutions, from schools, judiciary, police, the entire civil service is populated by people who are only interested in what they get out of it. The days of people doing public service in the civil service for the good of the country or the good of their neighbourhood has gone. The people there are only interested in what little side hustles they can get into their bank account, essentially. Or, if money's not their motivation, then political ideology is.
Well, most of our politicians are. They believe in the leftist radical ideology? No. Do they go along with it? Yes. Do you know why? Because they want to get more power. They want to get better positions. They want to move up in the government. They want to keep their cushy job where they don't. Because a lot of these people don't have to do very much. They're in districts where one party gets elected all the time. It's made up of a district of just basically that party. Their job is safe. As long as they toe the line and vote the way that people tell them to vote, they don't have a problem. They keep their cushy job. They make their money.
Yep.
I just cannot believe that your government violated one of the oldest principles of your government.
It goes back to Tony Blair. That slimy piece of shit. The second he got into power, he changed so many laws under the radar, all in the name of fairness and equality and all that fucking loveliness. Basically, what he's done is he's created a country that can be governed by dictators.
Well,
They've cancelled local elections left, right and centre. There's millions and millions of people who have no chance to vote for their local councils, which is supposed to be done every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the government said to the council leaders, because they know that they're going to get kicked out of all their councils because they're so despised, if you don't want to have elections, we'll give you an excuse and you don't have to have them.
Oh, they must have learned that from Zelensky.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I don't know why anybody, when he did that, I don't know why we kept dealing with Ukraine. We should have just been like, you're on your own. If you're not gonna, why should you be a part of us if you're not gonna be with our principles? You know,
Hmm.
you're supposed to have free and fair elections, and you just suspend them because of war. We never did that during World War II. We still had our elections. No, you're just, you guys are, it's not the, it's the fascists. It's never went away since the 1930s. It's never gone away. It's still here. Well, actually, I think it was before that. I think fascism was on the rise back in like 1918 and that after World War One.
It's such an illogical thing now. Communism, fascism, it is so completely illogical.
I think fascism works a lot. Communism doesn't work. I mean, even the Chinese are not really communists. They're more fascist these days. Because the people have, because in fascism, the people have freedom of choice. You know, you can pick what you want to do. You can start your own business and everything. But the people, there's going to be a overlord of a government that's going to tell you what is acceptable and what's not acceptable. You as a individual do not get any say in it. It's pretty much what you're dealing with now. If they want to walk into your you know, in the fascist world, if they want to walk into your company and shut it down because they don't like you, they can. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. And they've been doing that, you know, that sort of thing with people for a good 10 years or more.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew about it though. They call it debanking.
No,
So if
stop.
you are on the political watch list, I forget what they actually call it, but let's just say they have a political watch list. Banks would then have the duty and the ability to close your bank account with little or no notice. And then when you go somewhere else to try and get a bank account, they say, well, where have you been? You tell them, and then they go, oh, well, yeah, no, we can't give you a bank account either. And they're still doing it.
They just want you to be good little servants.
Yeah, it's not going to end well.
Well, you guys are going to have some sort of revolution, but I don't know how you're going to do it in this day and age.
Well, our dictator has told us, or told his councils, that they can now implement 15-minute cities whether the citizens like it or not.
You have to admit what?
So they're
15-minute cities. It's been around for at least 10 years or so on WWF's website. When people first started reporting about it, they said, oh no, you're talking rubbish, it's all conspiracy theory nonsense. Essentially, you're given a pass, a limited amount of times to drive your vehicle out of your local area. Once you've used your allotted free passes, you're either not allowed to drive out of that area, or you have to pay a hefty fine. The theory is that you should be able to access all your needs within 15-minute walk or bike ride from your residence.
That's like fucking ridiculous.
It is fucking ridiculous. It's authoritarian control. You have not got freedom of movement.
Well, you forgot the reasoning why they're building the 15 minutes. Because they're building these 15-minute cities, but they need to force people to live in them.
Yes.
But the reason that they were using was global warming.
Which is rapidly being proved to be a complete crock of shit.
Well, because nobody cares about global warming anymore. Did you notice that? All of a sudden, in the last year and a half, you don't hear anything about global warming. It's putting Greta Thunberg out of business. That's why she had to start protesting for refugees that didn't like her.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we've got a member of government called Mr. Miliband, who's the most ugliest motherfucker you've ever seen, with the smallest brain, who still cannot get it through his head that it's not necessary to tax us into oblivion. His latest thing is he's going to spend £15 billion of our fucking money providing free solar panels, batteries and air source heat pumps.
For people of color, I'm guessing.
Wow, who knows, but probably. Yep, you got £9,000 towards your solar. I think it was £4,000 towards your batteries. I can't remember what the air source pump money was.
So your company installs these things now, right?
No, unfortunately not. But
That's a big rack.
I could install solar panels and batteries, but not the air source heat pumps. I don't believe that they work properly in this country. For most houses, you've got to have a very well insulated house for that to work. But my labourer's got one, and basically it doesn't work in the cold. It freezes up, and then he doesn't get anything out of it.
Is that where they drill a big hole in the ground, put the pipes down?
No, that's geothermal. Yeah, this is air source heat pump. So basically, it's a fucking big refrigerator working in reverse outside your window. It needs, for a small house, it needs a 32 amp supply, which means it's actually quite expensive to run. It's the same as running a large oven.
I don't understand. It's like a reversed air conditioner is all it is, right?
Yeah, so it's taking the small difference in temperature from outside to inside, and the heat exchanger grabs that and so say hits your home.
Yeah.
I think we're putting in geothermal. Oh, yeah.
So instead of running... So basically it's an air conditioner, but instead of putting the heat outside, it puts the heat inside.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it works.
So whilst we're not as cold as we're not as cold as we used to be, but even when it gets down to about a zero, like my friend says, it's worse than useless.
We have them here. They do work. They're better for air conditioning than they are for heat pumps. It's a 2-in-1 unit. Like we use it in the summer for cool and dehumidify the air, right? But the problem is, it's become a very large burden on the electrical in the areas.
Grid?
On the grid.
Yeah.
And...
Well, that's one of the problems we've got.
Well, everybody's got that problem because it's been
with electric cars, heat
years.
source pumps.
You can't just make everything electric because you can't get the electricity to the people. You can only, it's a finite amount that you can push through the lines. You know? I mean, your country, you get so many people in one area, and all your stuff's underground.
50% maybe. Well, in the cities it's going to be more underground. In the countryside we still have a lot of pylons.
Yeah, it's same here. But, you know, a lot of cities, I mean, they put everything underground to get it, because there's too many wires. Too much going on, but you can that wire can only handle so many amps.
Mm.
So nobody, I mean, there's no electricians out there that are like, hey, dummies. If everybody gets an electric car, y'all can't charge them. So,
Yeah, this was pointed out 20 years ago.
yeah,
That our network wasn't up to it, our generation wasn't up to it.
so California mandated that if you have so many, if you're a trucking company, you have so many trucks, so many, certain percent has to be electric, right? So Swift, which is one of the largest companies in America, had to buy 25 electric trucks. Do you know what those electric trucks do?
Sod all.
Yard
They
shunting?
don't do anything. They don't even move them. They have them, they're registered and they're insured, and they sit in the parking lot because nobody wants to drive them and they're too expensive to operate. And the other problem is that California wants, by the regulation, they need to have like 200 or 250 electric trucks, but they only have 25 because California will only let them have 25 charging units, and you have to charge them every day. Now, he asked if he could get more charging units, and they said, no, that's all you can get because there's not enough electricity. You're going to charge all 25 of these at the same time. That's it. That's all the electricity we have. And then they were going to put regulations on what times they could charge them because they didn't want to have rolling brownouts. So they can't run them during peak electricity times. So it makes no sense. Everything in electric makes no sense.
Well, not unless you're going to invest in upgrading the network and installing more nuclear power.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Because that's what they're discovering in Europe. They're going, oh, well, why is this system fail? Because you've got no spinning generation to take up the slack when the sun goes behind a cloud.
Who
knew?
How did we not think of that? Windmills don't turn when it's not windy?
No.
None of that stuff makes enough electricity to even pay the cost of putting it up. And the solar nonsense, solar is good for little tiny things. If you want to power a road street sign, you can power it with a solar panel. But you can't, you need a couple of giant panels to just do a street light. You know, it's so inefficient. I mean, if you want to cover the roof of every building with solar panels and get a little bit extra, but the amount of electricity you get from a solar panel does not pay for itself, especially when the life expectancy is only 7 to 14 years.
Yeah, they did see the other day a news article saying that they've now got a new panel coming out that's 95% efficient. I don't know how that's going to translate into actually how much power it's going to provide.
I mean, the panel, I mean, they're putting a lot more research into the panels in the last 10 years than they have previously, and in battery, you know. But everything that the stuff is made of, that they use, it's all, like, we all worried about, like, we're going to run the earth out of oil. But all this other stuff, I mean, we're literally raping and pillaging the earth for these very small, minute minerals all over the planet, you know?
Yeah.
And nobody seems to care about that.
Well, that's the hypocrisy of it all again, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, the lithium.
You've got all these people driving their electric cars thinking, oh, I'm wonderful because I'm being virtuous and not using a petrol and diesel car.
Yeah. Mine lithium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about like mining coal.
That and the fact that over here they scrapped a whole load of very good used cars as an incentive to get people to buy electric. They gave them really good deals on part exchanging their cars, which they then promptly insisted were scrapped rather than sold on as second hand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was just criminally insane in my opinion.
Now, see where I live? They actually got rid of emission testing here.
Okay.
We used to have every other year you had to get your car emission tested. So if you had like a even year, like an even year car, so if like a 2026, then on even years you would have to get emission tested. But they decided that there was no need anymore. There's no reason. It cost the state government, too much money to enforce this regulation. And judging by the average vehicle year of all the vehicles that are registered, most of them were emissionized engines anyway, so they got rid of the emissions. Didn't really see the reason for it.
Well, that kind of makes sense. If you've got like 5% of your vehicle population is slightly polluting compared to the others, then the cost of enforcing that 5% is never going to be worth it, is it? And they will die eventually and get replaced by more efficient cars.
Well, the Trump administration just got rid of the. It's no longer a crime now, apparently, to delete your diesel emissions.
What do you mean, delete your diesel emissions?
So over here, it's really popular when you have a over-the-road truck or a pickup truck to remove the emission systems.
Oh, okay.
The computer system in to change your...
Yeah, so they've made it public that they're not going to prosecute those crimes. They're not going to waste any federal government time, money, trying to find people that are deleting their trucks.
Again, it must be a very small portion will be doing that.
No,
Because it can't be technically easy. Yeah?
In the pickup world, the pickup world is weird, but the way that they program the engine controllers, to pass the emissions test, all they do is plug into the car, does a parameter read, and if there's no codes, you pass, right? So when you delete them, they have software that just mimics a good reading, whatever the temperature would normally be within range, it just mimics that, keeps the engine code off. So it still passes the emissions test. And then basically the rule of thumb is that on an over-the-road truck, once you start having emissions problems, you just delete them. And then you don't have emission problems anymore.
But not only that, your emissions reduce your horsepower, reduce your performance.
Ah, yes. I remember when I was a young man and they started bringing in that shit over here. My lovely car, which worked perfectly fine before the MOT, where they test the emissions, the garage took it upon themselves to fiddle with the emissions, and then when I drove it off the forecourt to go home, the fucking engine blew.
My neighbor's
And I lost my lovely car.
My neighbor's got a nice F-350 truck that they converted, put that computer stuff in it, and the kid's got a lot more snot now than it did before.
Well, that actually has nothing to do with the emissions. That's because when they reprogram the computer to delete the emissions, they usually give it more power, because now they can Now they can give it more power without having to set off emissions.
Yes, yeah. And you can set it. You can if you want to have fuel mode, you can have fuel mode. If you want to have performance, you can have performance.
Yeah, have a pulley dog or something in it. Yeah, the tuners aren't bad because you can get just a tuner that goes in there that you can change the different modes just with the factory emissions and everything, factory engine. The biggest problem with emissions is through the lifespan of the engine, as the engine wears, you start consuming more oil. And what happens with the oil is the oil plugs up your emissions. So you start having emissions problems because your engine starts getting worn out and it's not as tight as it was. So then it starts plugging up your, your filters. Well, now what happens is people tend to, it's an emissions problem. They keep working on the emissions problem, but they don't ever really consider the fact that the engine's wore out or the engine's pushing oil, because it's really hard to detect it sometimes. You really have to have a driver or an operator that runs the same piece of equipment all the time that checks the oil every day.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that, like, okay, well, I have to put a gallon in every 2 weeks. Okay, now we know we had a problem. This is why we have an emissions system. But if you got a guy that never checks the oil, he never, oh, I check it today. Oh, it's down a gallon. When's the last time you checked it? I don't know. Doesn't really help you, but the engine runs fine, so then people are like, well, it can't be the engine. It has to be. So it shortens the lifespan of the engine, not because it's performance or anything, but just for the fact that in the normal lifespan, you're going to start using oil. Plus the whole DEF thing in diesels is just stupid anyway. You're going to save the planet by having billions of plastic jugs and everything else.
Well, think about what you're like when you have your long haul truck that says, I want to do a regen now, right?
Yeah, it wakes you up in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Now think about when you're running the fire truck on a scene for an extended period of time when your fire truck says, I want to do a regen now. I'm sorry.
You just hit that cancel button.
I know, but it's like, I really don't think it should be on those kind of vehicles.
I completely agree, because you shouldn't. I mean, a vehicle that you absolutely have to depend on, that only runs when you need it, and in your situation, that vehicle is going to sit there and idle a lot.
Yeah.
Which kills emissions. But you have to, because you're running pumps and, Oh, this is going to be disappointing. I got no batteries. Somebody's dropped the ball here. Yeah, we run into the same problem because we have PTO driven pumps. So the truck has to run in order to unload, which I pretty much leave the truck running all the time anyway, because I don't know, they don't really use that much fuel just sitting there idling.
No.
It's like half a gallon an hour.
That's going to save.
If you guys got this,
Go ahead, Wonko.
I was going to say, if you guys got your cars where they stop and start every time you stop,
Oh, fuck yes.
so the engine cuts. Oh, what a fucking stupid idea. You cannot tell me that saves any fuel.
It does, but only in... see, it's all about the cities. If you live out in the country, it doesn't matter, because you're not driving. You drive, and then you stop at a sign, and then you go. Like, you're not sitting there and stop and go traffic in a city situation. Have you seen how they do that? Because they don't use a traditional starter anymore.
I've got no idea.
It's actually kind of cool, because they use this you know, they use like the alternator. It's like an alternator generator starter, and I hope you never need one because they're like $2,000.
I don't think I'll be buying any new vehicles anytime soon.
Well, they'll just California, yeah, where you can't register vehicles after such a year.
Yeah, probably. Unless we've had our revolution.
You guys got it. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, it's against human rights to be able to take your confiscate your assets without just without just cause. I mean, the United States has got kind of a similar problem because let's say you've got $10,000 in cash hanging out in your briefcase, right? It's your very own money. Doesn't matter how you got it, right? It's $10,000 cash money. They can seize that because I can't remember what the threshold is, but if you have a certain amount of cash on you, then they assume that it's illegal money. And then
Yeah,
you have
that's
to
basically what they're doing here.
and then they can just seize it from you, and then you have to fight to get it back, which is bullshit.
Yeah, because basically they flipped around you're innocent until proven guilty, haven't they?
Yeah, and who cares if you're a drug dealer? If you want to prosecute me for dealing drugs, then charge me with being a drug dealer. Let me go to trial. Show me the evidence. You know, that's how it's supposed to work. I don't know. I get very. It greatly upsets me that things like this are happening in countries that should know better. Like if this is happening out in the Congo, like I'd be like, meh, it's the Congo, right? They don't have a stable government. But you'd think one of the leaders of the British government, Britain being one of the leaders of the world,
Yeah. Yeah, you should try living it, mate. It's
I kind
very,
of,
very depressing and very scary.
well, it's like New
Because
York. That's why I had to leave.
yeah, there is no means that we can fight back that doesn't involve, at the very least, mass disobedience and demonstration. And one of the other problems we got is the police force is shrinking rapidly because people do not want to do the job because it's so hideous, which only leaves the people that really enjoy being utter cunts and will have no problem shooting people, water cannonning, pepper spraying, beating the shit. I mean, they're beating the shit out of people in front of cameras and they don't care already.
Well, they know they're not going to get fired.
And this is not exaggeration or bullshit. They only do that to white people. And they're white people themselves. Explain that shit to me.
Well, I can explain that because nobody cares if something happens to a white person. Nobody cares. They always deserved it. But if it happens to somebody that's a minority or a protected class, what do you get? There's always a controversy about it because you didn't give them a fair chance. It's because of their skin color or because of their religion. But if it's a white person, they don't have to worry about any backlash for it, That's what, that's what it is.
The back Nash is building. There's an awful lot of very, very pissed off people in this country. And we still outnumber the other assholes.
Yeah, but you've got these upper middle class people that have all this empathy for people because they think that minorities are stupid and helpless, which is very racist in my opinion.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
But if you listen to them talk, they like minorities need help. Because I know a lot of minorities that like, I don't know, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, that make a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money.
Right, there's the Asian population in America, I know from some of the documentaries I've seen, are extremely hardworking and extremely wealthy. Or, you know, they're in the upper middle class in terms of income. Because they work bloody hard and they still keep their family units going. They're a minority, but they don't need any help.
Well, who cares if you're a minority? I see, none of this ever makes sense to me because I don't look at the world that way. Like, I don't understand why being a minority makes you special. You're just another, you're just another living body sucking up oxygen, just like the rest of us.
Well, it's just the first form of racism, isn't it?
Well, it's exactly what I said. It's these upper middle class people that sit there on their phones and think, oh, these poor black people need help because they can't help themselves. You know, I know a lot of really poor white people. I still don't have very much empathy for them because most of them are poor because they prioritize, drugs and cigarettes and everything over, feeding their children or putting clothes on their back, or they make poor decisions with their money because they prioritize things. They just have the wrong priorities, and that's why their children are not having clothes and not having lunches, and but it doesn't stop them from mom going to the casino all the time and spending her money at the casino while the kids are sitting there eating moldy peanut butter sandwiches for lunch.
Yeah, you'll always have people like that.
Well, yeah, you're always going to have people like
flavor.
I don't know. You can't make people smarter. It doesn't matter. Because what happens is these losers that do these things, they always get rewarded because somebody bails them out. Somebody gives them stuff. So there's no real consequence for being a scumbag. Especially now with social media, they just go on there and whine, and then a bunch of people raise money for them. That's what irritates me.
That's another reason not to go on social media.
Oh, I can't afford a bed for my kid. And then, they don't say anything about the fact that mama likes her cocaine.
Or the 45-inch TV on the wall.
Yeah, or the fact that they don't pay anything for their cell phones because somebody else is paying that bill for them. The most ridiculous thing was they had all the news agencies were standing out front of a Walmart at midnight one night, and the state was having problems with their benefits app. So, which I don't understand. If you get benefits, then they come in at roughly midnight on the first of the month, is how it used to be. So people were complaining that it was a tragedy that these people are out at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning at Walmart, ready to go shopping because they can't go another day, and their benefits weren't getting, and they keep checking it on their app on the smartphone. And at this point in time, I didn't even have a smartphone, and I'm looking at them like, how do these poor people afford a smartphone? I don't even have a smartphone, and why are you there at 1 in the morning waiting for your benefits that aren't always showing up, until later in the day on that day? Like, why wouldn't you be a normal person and just go shopping like once a week anyway? Your benefits will be there. I don't understand it. We need our benefits. No, you need a job. Then you'd have to get up in the morning so you wouldn't be at Walmart at midnight waiting for them. So then every Friday you'd have a paycheck like the rest of us, and then you could go blow that at the casino. We need to bring back debtor prison.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to stop my stream here, and I might stay in game and let my worker run for a bit, but I gotta go get supper ready.
Okay,
mate.
Jamie.
It's that time of the night.
We haven't had no scrum for Gizmo.
Oh, neither one will be back tonight.
No. You got me for another half hour.